good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to wherever you may be. Welcome to the Pitch Perfect podcast. Of course, we are your hosts. My name is Kiki, and we have Elaine.
Hi.
And today we are joined by the wonderful Liv from TNTCG on YouTube. She is a FAB video essayist. She loves a bit of casual FAB, and she's got over 2k subscriptions on YouTube already. So hello, Liv. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi. Thank you guys so much for having me on. This is very exciting. I love to yep, and now I get to do it, and it's recorded, so this is just fantastic. But yeah, hi, my name is Liv. I have a YouTube page called TNTCG, and I make video essays and vloggy content and beginner stuff, and I just love talking about my favorite game, so yeah.
Great. It's so wonderful to have you. It was lovely to meet you like a month ago, I guess, like in person. Yeah, but no, really wonderful to have you on here. Something we've been talking about for like the last few months, to be honest.
Yeah.
So really excited to have you. Let's just get into the show, I reckon, Let's do our usual thing, and of course we are a Flesh and Blood podcast, and we do occasionally play some games of Flesh and Blood, so let's talk about it. Elaine, would you like to start us off with how your week in Flesh and Blood has gone?
Yeah, I don't think I've done... I'm trying to think, like, the last time we recorded, my parents were in town, and then they left, not yesterday, but the day before, so I haven't played any Flesh and Blood. Yeah, I don't think I've played... I've tried, maybe I played a few CC games, but I don't... I didn't go to Armory, because my parents were here, and I had plans. Anyway, I have an RTN this week, so next week.
Okay. We'll hear that update, and then y'all will hear it probably after it's happened. But yeah, what about yourself, Liv? Have you done much in the Flesh and Blood world?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it counts as this week, but I was at the calling Christchurch last weekend. I'm going to call it this weekend, because, yeah. But that made me so broke that I haven't done any FAB this week, but also what I didn't do in FAB was meet Sam from 3 Floating, because he went to my locals and I wasn't there. For the first time, I wasn't there. And it's more like what I haven't done in FAB this week.
Yeah, I love Sam.
I'm so oh my gosh. Yeah, someday.
Someday. You'll just have to travel to Worlds or
easy.
something. You'll see him at international events. Yeah. My week in FAB was different. I actually played in armories, which is not something I normally do, but I played in 2 of them in the past week.
Wow.
Which is about 1.75 more than I would do on average, kind of thing. So I have a road to nationals tomorrow. That's the only one I'm playing in, because I think I'm qualified off ELO anyway. So I'm just playing in the one. Don't want to take any days off work for it. But I was testing out Syndra and Prism, trying to decide between the 2, which I'm going to play. This is going out after the road to nationals, so I'm probably going to play Syndra tomorrow. Realistically. And by the time you listen to this, it's going to be too late. I'm already going to have won this road to nationals. That's not true. But I'm already going to have played in this road to nationals as my beloved redheaded ninja. So I'm very excited for that. Been doing a bunch of practicing and testing and watching other people play, because I get tired real quick and I'm like, I don't feel like playing. I'm just going to learn by watching y'all. Very convenient kind of stuff. So yeah, that's my week in Flesh and Blood, I think. Yeah.
Very chill week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, good luck at the RTN.
Yeah.
You're gonna take it down. I have so much faith.
You're gonna be
I can't remember the last time I've won.
You're gonna be the winner, and then that's what you're gonna get to talk about next week. And yeah, it's all sorted. It's all stuffed out.
Yeah. We'll both win our RTNs this weekend,
God.
and we'll talk about it next week.
That'd be so
convenient.
That'd be so
convenient.
convenient.
Let's just do that.
I want to play my
Make
RTN.
a great episode.
What's stopping you? Is it time commitments?
I guess I could get some money from somebody. $30.
Do you need me to shout
Really
you? I just
excited,
sold some
Oh my
Lorcana
gosh, no,
cards the other day.
I'll sell
You can pay
some
me back
cards.
another time.
That's what I'll do. I'll trade some cards, and then I'll go to the RTN.
Okay. Real talk. If you need someone to shout you, I'll do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, literally. We could split it.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll just call you guys back when I...
But you have to wear merch, though, at that point? You have to be, like, sponsored by
100%.
Pitch Perfect /
Hat, shirt, armbands.
That merch that does not exist.
Yeah, just make some merch.
Okay, if I make the merch, wear it, have card sleeves, have everything, mat, it all, is that you guys will shout my RTN.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
100%.
Well, we're sorted.
Yeah. 100%.
Anyone who's watching, you're hearing it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will shout you 30 New Zealand dollars, which is roughly, what, like 14 USD?
Big money here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big money.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Perfect.
Has this vodka hit us already? Is that what's happened?
I actually haven't had mine yet because I was waiting to try it. I was going to taste it live anyway.
Oh, we get a live reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, well, because we have Liv on here, who's partially famed for her love of tea, we have our own little beverages here. So in a special guest segment, we have our What's in Your Cup. And as our guest and the tea connoisseur here, Liv, could you please tell us what is in your cup?
Well, I've been waiting to actually take the lid off this. I have a special cup of tea. It's not the regulars. We're not talking chamomile or Earl Grey. This is something special. So we'll take the lid off. In this, okay, well I can't do that on there. It's fine. In this teacup is a special tiramisu black tea, and it's loose leaf. You can see the like strainer thing. So that's the real deal. The tiramisu black tea, and I haven't actually had any yet, so I'll take the strainer out now. It's been brewing a while, so this is going to be pretty strong. Yeah, it smells good. It's just so everyone knows. Nice. Good tiramisu. Good.
Oh wow, that sounds delicious actually.
Does it have like actual coffee in it in addition to the tea?
No,
kind of situation,
it's just like a black tea base, and then I guess they have like tiramisu flavor, but it's not actual coffee. It's just like the flavor of it. So it's like creamy, but not no coffee. Yeah. I think.
That sounds so good. And I feel so called out right now. Because I have a nice chamomile and blackberry and passion fruit tea.
Delicious.
Oh yeah.
And what I think is most appropriate flesh and blood mug. It may be hard to read, but it just says fabulous bitch on it.
I love that.
So it's kind of appropriate. But of course, during Taihape, when I was doing commentary, I was also drinking this particular beverage here, which is a raspberry iced tea with vodka. So
two teas.
I am double parked, as we say in New Zealand.
Double fisting.
And
I think it's...
there we go. I'm gonna avoid that one.
Oh, that's just what we say.
Yeah. I guess I should try them both on camera. Yeah, so this one tastes basic. No. It's fine. It's kind of calming and soothing. It's usually the tea I have for when I go to sleep. So if I pass out halfway through the stream, I guess it could be either of these. Right?
Yeah.
It could be the vodka, which admittedly doesn't taste like vodka at the moment because it's probably sunk to the bottom of the can. So if I start grimacing like halfway through the episode, that's when you know.
I wonder if that's an issue for... I have my little mug. Actually it says cup of happy in there too.
So cute.
I love tea. My little sister has a tradition where she buys me and all of my sisters matching mugs every single year for Christmas with our initials on them. So this was this past year's Christmas. Anyway, that's just a side tangent. I have blueberry lemon tea that I put honey in, and then I poured a hefty pour of Tito's in here as well. I don't know. We're gonna taste it. It's nice. It's definitely Tito's in it, but it's good. I got home like 5 minutes before I jumped on the stream, so it didn't have much time to brew. So it's kind of like Cheetos and water with like a hint of other flavors. Anyway, it's what we have.
It's vodka forward, is what I'm hearing.
Should I be worried?
Yeah.
Should I be worried that both of you are like drinking because like I'm here? Is that like a reflection of me? What's the vodka?
No, this isn't the first time,
No,
and
no,
probably
Amazing.
not the last
Okay.
time.
no, yeah, no.
It was the summer episode. She's a big Sabrina Carpenter fan. We're like, let's just do like nonsense outros at the end of the episode, and then we're all just like, oh, none of us like sing in public. And then we were all just like drinking throughout
Okay.
the episode to work up towards
Amazing.
that outro.
Yeah.
So
No,
probably not the last time. It's definitely not your fault.
it's definitely not your fault. We've had drinks on here plenty of times.
Awesome.
Anyway.
Mhm.
How fun.
Well, we do have you on as a guest, so maybe it's time we kind of learn a bit more about you and actually talk to you rather than about our drinks. So, firstly, you describe yourself as a very casual player. What does that mean to you and your relationship with Flesh and Blood?
I mean, when I started playing Flesh and Blood at like the end of 2023 around Bright Lights, it was never like even in the back of my mind to become some sort of world champion. So like the whole time I've been playing, it's always been like, what's the most fun? What's the most cool? What am I having fun doing? And I know a lot of beginners like kind of come into it with aspirations of being the best player, or becoming like a world champion and everything. Like there's a guy at my armory who makes YouTube content. He's Hayes on YouTube, but his goal is like to kind of come in and just be the best someday, which is amazing. I remember like there was a beginner that came to a pre-release. I remember her being like a little bit upset that she didn't win her first ever Flesh and Blood event. So there's like that kind of thing, which is amazing. Like I honestly think like if your goal is to become the best and you're working at it, that's really cool. Never really what I was doing. I feel like I came into it, I turned up to Blitz events for weeks and weeks just with my pre-constructed deck, and one changed card, which was Snappies instead of like whatever they had in there. Actually, did they? I don't know. Anyway, it was Snappies. And I was like losing all the time, every single game. But as I kept kind of upgrading and practicing and like the life kept getting closer, it like became even more fun and more intense, and like getting my first win, like oh my god, felt so amazing. And like I do have an actual deck now, but I kind of just chase that feeling still of having like an amazing time, what's going to be super intense. And then also now, like you might have seen like in my content, trying to get others into it and also have them making amazing memories and having a great time. So it's kind of like, yes, I do play competitively at events and stuff, but I consider myself a casual player because I'm kind of the idea that like this is a hobby that happens to be competitive but also is a great place to make friends, especially as an adult, and kind of just hang out. It's insanely fun. So yeah, just like play cards, go hard, have fun. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's such like a
That's
great
it.
attitude to have.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
chill.
I was saying it's like a really beautiful way to put it. Like, I don't know, it feels like there's a huge kind of emphasis on being competitive in Flesh and Blood, especially like in the space that we're kind of in as content creators. The majority of the content is kind of aimed at the competitive focus things. And sure, there are like new product reviews and ways to get into the game as a beginner and stuff, but it's all with like the goal of being the best at the game kind of thing, right? So it is pretty like wholesome and refreshing just to hear people like, yeah, I want to improve obviously, but like I'm here for the vibes, and that's kind of the thing that I honestly think a lot of people could like benefit from picking up that mindset.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that as like a
No.
stab or anything, but like it's so upsetting to be like solely focused on trying to win and then obviously not being able to win everything. Like
it's like relaxing
For
to kind of come into it. And if you're thinking like, okay, I want to make friends, have fun, learn some new skills, but just mostly just focusing on chasing that really fun time, I think it just takes a lot of the pressure off as well. Like it allows you to just enjoy it, which I think is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you play other TCGs before Flesh and Blood, or?
No, not really. I played like a little bit of Magic, like a couple games, but like I always say like Flesh and Blood is my first TCG because I didn't even get like the untap upkeep draw thing before I was like, okay, this is not for me. I'm sleeping during these. This is not it.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of fun question, just like randomly throw in here. How did you get into Flesh and Blood? Like, I've been someone who's been around this like scene for like 5 years in this country, and then you just suddenly popped up. I don't know.
I really did. Nobody ever thought I was going to get into a game like this. Like, it's so different from everything I do, like, all of the time. But my partner got into it first, so he was just looking for a new TCG to play. It was between this and, like, what was it, like One Piece or something? So he just chose Flesh and Blood randomly, started going to events and stuff, and I was like, okay, what is this weird guy doing with his weird cards? I don't understand. And then he, like, sold a Crown of Providence and, like, made like $180. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And then he told me he was going to spend 110 or something on a Mask of Momentum, and I thought he was crazy. And I was like, all right, you need to show me this game. Because ain't no way you're spending $110 on the card. Like, that's crazy. You're crazy. What's going on? So I made him buy me a Blitz deck, and then I made him teach me the game. It was a terrible experience. I'm a horrible learner. It was really bad. Yeah, then I went to an armory, and it was like the best evening of my life. I had so much fun. I was like, oh, I see. This makes so much more sense now. Like, it's not just some random, like, money spending thing. It's actually something that's super exciting and very, very fun. And yeah, and I just ended up going to armories by myself all the time and just went from there. But yeah, it's good.
Beautiful.
I love that. That's so wholesome.
I love that though. I was like, you're not spending this money unless I know why.
I was shocked. I had to know, because I was like, is it some sort of like cult? Like, what is going on? Like, because that's crazy. That is crazy. It's not crazy to me now. You know, I have a collection.
No, it's definitely a thing. I got into Flesh and Blood, like, kind of for the same reason. Like, I had a partner who started playing the game and was like always playing. And I was like, okay, where are you going every weekend? Like, I want to know. But he had the same experience of that was like back during Crucible and then Monarch, and I remember he opened like a cold foil Footsteps during all the Monarch craziness that was going on, and it was like, I want to say it was like $1,200 when he opened it, and I was like, what the okay, now I gotta start learning about how card markets work and what all of this is, and like, because how is this possible? And it's like such a weird thing to come into a TCG and have to like learning all that is fascinating, or at least I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah. It's so like interesting to learn like for the first time as well, like just such a new world.
Yeah, it's so fun.
I'm trying to think about what it's like when I first started playing, and it's a very different kind of world. Like, it was all very unexplored, and nobody knew anything, and like, yeah, you didn't have like this past experience of people pointing out specific things to you. We were all just trying to figure it out and getting excited over like random, what was then super rares. And yeah, opening our like first, like opening a Majestic was a big deal to us, because there was like 2 Majestics per box back in the day. Yeah. So like if you opened your like Ancestral Empowerment or your, there was this particular one where people didn't quite get how good it was because it seemed so unassuming. But yeah, and then like slowly figure out that way. And because like my early experiences were like 4 other people, and it was kind of this journey of growth as we were all kind of picking it up, and the excitement was so much fun. Just being like discovering a card that we'd never seen before, and then watching the game grow. It was a beautiful time, wonderful time. But yeah, a lot more casual as well now that I think about it.
Does it feel like does it feel weird to kind of watch people get into it now, like knowing everything you know, like from the very beginning? Do you feel like we're kind of like people like me who joined in Bright Lights and stuff, like we're missing part of the history and like we should be like learning about it? Or do you feel like any point in the game is like fine to just jump in, like you don't have to know any of the stuff?
I think it's fine to jump in at any point. Like, especially because the game back then is so different compared to now, not just like in terms of like the monetary spike that happened in the early days of Flesh and Blood during the pandemic when everyone had expendable income. Not everyone, but a lot of people had expendable income. compared to now. The main difference I find is that the game is a lot more proactive. Like, you'll hear, like, fab boomers talk about going to pitch stack and, like, stacking in every game and stuff, which is significantly less relevant nowadays. Games will often end before you hit your third, fourth cycle. And, like, the game is more explosive, and honestly, the game is more exciting nowadays. Like, the people that got into the game at the start wanted the slow, grindy value, your turn cycle is successful if you dealt 1 point of damage more than your opponent kind of situation. And it was very much like, we live for this grind, we want to set up a late game combo through, like, attrition and all this. Whereas nowadays, you're just seeing a lot more explosive, I'm gonna set this up by putting something with Arsenal and hoping it's good. Or sometimes you're not even, like, Arsenaling because you're playing around, like, Felling of the Crown, or not Felling, Plow Under or something. But I've tried watching older games with people that came into the game, like, post Tales of Aria, which is, like, when the game, or I guess Monarch is really when the game started exploding in a different direction. And, like, they were bored by, like, Welcome to Wraith kind of games, or, like, even up to Crucible of War. Like, if you talk to the people that started during that period of time, they'll reminisce about the old days, myself included, right? It was a very different game. Whereas people that get into now, they get into the game because it's exciting, it's flashy, there's a lot more things going on. It's a legitimately better spectator sport, to put it in, like, different terms, right? And I think that's what draws more people in. So, yeah. I don't think you need to have been there from the start, realistically. It's cool to listen back to stories from the start. Like, I'll often tell things about certain cards or stories about other cards. There used to be a lot of, like, Easter eggs in Flesh and Blood back in the first few sets, and people love hearing about those. But, like, there's probably a good reason why they didn't start playing it back then, and part of it was that it was a very slow, non-very exciting game, unless you're really into that kind of stuff.
Cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's, like, such a sense of nostalgia talking about early days of Flesh and Blood, even though, like, I didn't play then. It still feels like so, I don't know, cute and nostalgic and homey. Like, it makes me want to, like, draft Welcome to Wraith and, like, play my deck unsleeved. Like, I don't, like, you know.
Yeah, I feel like in 10 years or like 20 years, they're gonna be looking back on this like, oh my gosh, like the vintage, like old-timey cards, you know, when they had, you know, Aurora Blitz deck. Wow, like the first one. Like, it's like, oh, the first strike deck. Yeah, that's like, this is generation 50. You guys are like, oh, I'm gonna be so sad. But no, I love listening back and, like, hearing the original stuff, because, like, I'm sad that I kind of missed it, but
That's the main regret people have about not starting from earlier on. Is they're like, oh, I wish I could have experienced the game at the start. Like,
yeah,
it's really cool having every box.
It makes me, like, there's, like, such a sense of nostalgia, I think, even though I didn't play, because in the 3 years that I've been playing, I feel like I've seen the game change and grow so much. So, like, I can't even imagine if I had been playing 3 years prior to that, you know, how different, how much more nostalgic I would feel. Anyway, I guess I'm emotional today.
Is it the tea?
Maybe it's the tea. Who knows? I tend to just be an emotional person, I think. It's not specific to today. But it is, like, the tea does make me feel like, oh, the warm and fuzzies, you know? So cozy. There's something nostalgic about tea itself. Anyway, to move on to the next question. The first question, we kind of got away from it, but we were talking about you being a self-proclaimed, like, casual player, like, being very vocal about that. And Flesh and Blood is, like, quite the competitive game in a mainstream sense. So, like, there's always a lot of talk about, like, where, like, what can Flesh and Blood do for the casual players, and, like, how do you kind of find your spot? So how do you think that casual players fit into the grand scheme of Flesh and Blood, and, like, how can we as a community or a game, like, cultivate the space for a casual community?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think because Flesh and Blood centers around like playing in the Flesh and Blood, which means like not online and at physical stores, it can just be a little bit off-putting for super casual players. Like, I remember when I first started, I felt sick going to my first thing because I was like, oh my gosh, you know, it's so scary. Everyone's going to be scary, and I don't know the rules, and it's going to be scary. And like teaching beginners in my kitchen is easy. Like, they're so happy to come along, and they're super chill. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go to the armory at the game store. And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Our arm, no, we're not doing that. So I feel like, like, we know it's not scary. Like, anyone who plays or has been to even just one event knows it's not scary. But I think there kind of needs to be a little bit of a shift around the narrative, because when you say like, oh, come to the armory, come to the skirmish, to someone who doesn't play or someone who hasn't played, it sounds intimidating, like it sounds scary. And also kind of talking more about, yeah, like, you're probably not going to win your first ever event. But that's okay, because if you keep coming and playing terribly, you know, like me, you know, just come play with your pre-constructed deck. You're going to learn and meet so many people and gain all of these skills, and be like, oh my gosh, that was so intense, but it was really, really fun. And if we just kind of encourage them to just kind of come along, lose all your games, and have a great time, I feel like that will help build the casual community, because I think there has to be a place for that. Like, yes, it's a competitive trading card game, but also it's incredibly fun. That's what gets most people into it, is like the pace of it, the excitement of all the new heroes and stuff like you're talking about. It's just so cool to watch and experience. I feel like there needs to be just a little bit more of like, it's not scary to come in person, even if you're losing. And do you guys feel like, I feel like at least here at the stores or small communities we have, like, it's just on the cusp of having a really great casual player base, but because the event seems so official to like learn at or come into lose at, they don't keep coming, or they don't come to other things, which I feel like is such a shame, because it's like almost there, but just not quite.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that. I mean, like, again, I don't play that often, but I mean, I don't play in stores that often, but like, you definitely see my store, at the very least, is guilty of it, where, like, not even just the idea of going, because a lot of people will come for like one or two kind of thing, but like my player base in particular at my store is quite competitive. Has something like 5 or 6 national champions through it, my store, that have since won national championships around the world. So we're not bad as a store, but it does make it harder for the more casually minded folk to kind of compete in that. And yeah, like, I see other stores that do a great job of like fostering it, whether they like flatten the prizes a little bit more to make it so that even if you like win 1 game or 2 games, maybe you end up with another prize as well. The armory packs are great for that as well. It encourages people to come in, but also kind of gives less experienced players a chance to walk away with something, which is really nice. But yeah, no, I definitely kind of see that more things could be done, I guess, to try to get more people into the game. It's not that the people aren't lovely or anything, but just like, sometimes I feel like if you get outplayed that badly, it's pretty easy to just be kind of demoralized. Yeah.
I guess it like differs from area to area too. Like, I also have a quite competitive local scene, and like, that's kind of fun. We like bond over being like competitive, you know, like always talking about decks and just like playing against each other and testing and stuff, and like, it's also a really great community to be a part of. But I can see how it would be like intimidating for a casual player. And I didn't start playing at this local scene. I've moved around quite a bit over the past 3 years of playing Flesh and Blood. But like you said, it's scary. I cried at my first few events in the bathroom because I was so scared. And like, but it wasn't even like being scared. It was like, I'm putting so much pressure on myself to do well because now I'm at this event. But just being more, like you kind of said, like changing the narrative about it. Because I think overall, maybe not even, you know, Flesh and Blood is a competitive game, and sometimes there is like a sense of like, okay, if I want to like, you know, like if you're like online, maybe you want to meet people, like maybe there's like a sense of, oh, I need to like prove that I'm good at this game for people to, I don't know, want to interact with me or something. But It's really not like that. I say it a million times. The bottom tables are so much fun.
So much fun.
The bottom tables are so much fun. And I love going to the event. And no matter where you are on the roster, you sit down and play a game, and you just get to talk to the person after you. Like, even if you're at the top tables or the bottom tables, you can almost guarantee that there's like laughs exchanged and like those good moments in Flesh and Blood. That is why everyone plays the game, casual or competitive. So yeah, I think what you said was really insightful, and I like the kind of idea you presented of just like changing the narrative around things.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if there are like 6 national champions at the armory and you're coming in not knowing, like, they're gonna help you. Like, it's not like they're gonna be, ha ha ha, I can beat you terribly. Like, they're not gonna be like that. I don't think I've ever met anyone in Flesh and Blood that's like that. So yeah, just like, you know, it doesn't matter if like the people you're playing, if you just want to be casual and come along and have a good time, you can do that even if, you know, everyone is like, oh, it's scary. Yeah, it should be good fun, I reckon.
Yeah, I think it's just like human nature to be intimidated.
Oh, yeah.
And be like, oh my gosh, it's a national championship.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. It's fine. And in my experience, even if you get to play across someone who is a fantastic player and well-known player, whatever it may be, then I always like to, those are my favorite people to talk to, like, after games, to be like, hey, what did I do that was really dumb, you know? Maybe phrased more eloquently, but what could I have done better in that game?
Yeah.
If I'm making faces while you talk, it's the vodka, it's not you. Just by the way, I feel like
This could have been you as well.
Delicious.
Could have been.
No, it never was.
So, bringing it back to you, Liv. So, over the last month or so, we've had 2 fairly sizable events here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, with the calling Taihape occurring about a month ago, roughly, and then the Christchurch calling happening a couple weekends ago, I believe. Could you tell us a little bit about your experience at these events? Maybe like how you found the 2 events to be similar and or different?
Yeah, that was crazy because I'm like, there were 2 weekends back to back. I think is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you did it too, so like, you know, that was a lot. It was a lot of traveling. But totally worth it. I feel like both, like, neither of them would have been as good if I wasn't going to both of them. And like I said it before, but also thank you so much for all your work to make Taihape amazing, because it truly was. And it wouldn't have been like that without you. So just like, yeah, thank you again. But yeah, like doing them back to back, I thought they were gonna be a lot more different. Because especially going to Taihape first, like the vibe was so chill, everything was so Kiwi, the music, sausage sizzle, gumboot toss, like it was just so laid back, and like meeting everyone was so nice. And I don't think I've ever played less pressured games ever. Like even being on the stream, I was like, this is gonna be good. Like it was just like fun. I wasn't nervous at all. And then I expected after that going to Christchurch was gonna be intense and terrifying, but then I was kind of just meeting everyone the same way and kind of just playing side events and joking around with judges and just like hanging out. And then as I kind of went to the second and third day in Christchurch, I was like, wow, this is a very similar vibe actually. And I wonder if there's this, like, I'm sure this happens to everyone, like if you've gone to a bunch of events, you're like, yeah, you're stating the obvious. But the more you get into the game and the more kind of you meet people, I feel like the more fun and chill the events get. So like, yeah, Taihape was a great vibe, but then knowing everyone from there, meeting people, and then seeing them again at Christchurch and getting to say hello and hanging out, just made it like a similar vibe. And honestly, I was more nervous going to Taihape, which might seem weird because like the Christchurch wasn't like a, you know, official thing, but like bringing my friend Noel down and like praying he has a good time and like I was like, okay, I have to be chill, like I have to be super chill. And that was it was more nerve-wracking to like try and be super chill than to just like go to the calling. But no, they were both super fun. And like having the camera makes me so much more shy because I was like dragging around my camera in Christchurch and in Taihape, and I'm already pretty awkward and shy anyway. So yeah, just like having everyone be so nice and so chill and so cool at both events was amazing. And yeah, I can't wait to go to the next one now as well. Oh god, help.
I mean, hopefully get another event soon. Is probably a good chance we'll do another Taihape event next year, is my assumption. I'm sorry to my friends if that wasn't the case, and I've now put the pressure on them. Also, I love the idea that, like, that gumboot tossing is like a Kiwi thing, right? Because realistically, for most of us New Zealanders, it is not something that we do in our regular life. I'm just holding a brush. But we've now just put it into, like, Americans, or, like, the international flesh and blood community's minds, that, yeah, we throw, like, our boots as far as we can for fun. That's just what we do in New Zealand. Which, again, is very not true. Like, I would not have done that in my life if it wasn't for this flesh and blood event that we run in the middle of nowhere. And now I've been to an official gumboot tossing, like, arena in Taihape as well. So, absolutely wild. Do you think your experience as a casual player, like, changes all that much from, say, like, a Matt Rogers at the Calling in Christchurch, or an Xavier McLean, who's a national champion in Taihape kind of thing? Like,
I would say probably I feel like, I mean, like, Xavier he was still, I feel like even the national, like, I gotta actually say a sentence before I start saying other sentences. But no, like, playing Oliver Berry, like, national champ on the stream, I think in Taihape it was very different to if I was doing it in Christchurch, for one. And then I also feel like Oliver Berry in Taihape, or Xavier McLean in Taihape, was very different to both of them in Christchurch, because in Christchurch they're competing for, like, you know, money, which is wild. But also, like, you know, you've got ELO, you've got lots of stuff on the line. Whereas for me in Christchurch, it was very much like, all right, commoner at 1, commoner at 4, commoner the next day at 11. Like, I wasn't really thinking about ELO or anything like that. So, like, I feel like it is definitely different for them going to both events, I would assume, because in Taihape they were both playing, you know, pretty chill, pretty cool, just whatever they want decks. Whereas in Christchurch, I can't even imagine the testing. I mean, you would know as well, like, the testing and stuff that goes into preparing for that kind of thing. I feel like, yeah, events like Taihape are very necessary to kind of give players like that an outlet to just have a great time, because I feel like when they do go to big events, there is that pressure. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I feel like that's the case. Of, like, having that pressure on. So you need amazing, fun, chill stuff like Taihape to throw your gumboots and, you know, just play jank, whatever you want decks. I think that's really important.
For sure. Okay, so speaking of Christchurch, there was a stream at Christchurch, and on that stream they made a very particular announcement. But just before that, you made a prediction that there was going to be pirates in the upcoming set, which we now know is called High Seas, and is very ocean-themed, and is hinting heavily towards what you predicted. Now, do you have any other predictions or hopes for the set? Can you manifest something for us that you think is going to happen in the next
manifest. Set? Okay. Well, honestly, I'm definitely taking credit for manifesting the High Seas. They were waiting for what I said, and then they quickly made an animation and planned a whole new set after what I said on the stream. That's my thought. So yeah, let's see. Well, now I don't know if I want to say what I was going to say, because I feel like people will hate me if I accidentally manifest that. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Anyway. But no, like, today they announced the Max Armory deck, and before that, now I don't think this anymore, but before that I was like, I'm positive they're gonna do, like, a pirate mech who, like, goes through the ocean and, like, pieces stuff together, you know, like the junkyard stuff, like, in the ocean through, like, wrecks and stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like Milo from Atlantis.
Exactly like that. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be so exciting. But then they announced the Armory deck, so I don't think that anymore. But I had already, like, thought that, so I'm gonna put it in. But, like, 100% Ranger. There's no way. There's no Ranger. Like, this is Riptide's moment. In the lore, like, him working on the ship. Oh my gosh, there's no way. There's no way it's not Ranger. But yeah, this is Ranger's Day. I really hope that they do wagering and stuff again. I feel like that's gonna come from heavy hitters. Like, they're gonna call back to that, at least in some way. Do you guys know Liar's Dice, the game?
loosely.
The pirate
No.
game. It's like a deception kind of like do you know what I know sort of game with dice. And I feel like something like that, like a mechanism in the game to like play a mini game in the game. I think that would be so cool because pirates are always like, you know, playing games like that and stuff. So surely. And then obviously coins and stuff. I reckon we'll see like copper and silver. Victor's already got all the gold in his estate, so we're not seeing gold. But copper and silver, I reckon they're gonna be like pulling it up and trading. And yeah, a final prediction, Kiki, I know you share this love with me, and Lane probably you too. But we need an Elizabeth Swann type pirate. We're on that Keira Knightley shit. Like we need her. Like we need her. Please. Yeah, that's all. That's all I've got. I don't know.
I would never look at pictures of Keira.
No, you've never done that.
What?
No.
Never.
Never.
I'm pretty sure we talked about Keira Knightley on our last episode that hasn't come out as we're filming this. It should have, but we forgot to post it. So it'll probably come out really shortly after we get off this call. But I
That
think
is my on-to-do list.
yeah, we did some like high seas predictions. We were a lot more out of control than you just were. I think yours are a lot more likely to come true. Those were pretty good predictions. But I think we might have talked about Keira Knightley. We definitely talked about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Amazing.
Or Caribbean, whichever is correct. But yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Keira Knightley,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Imagine the Keira Knightley Marvel. How much that would go for?
I don't even want to know.
No,
Take my money.
I would spend my savings on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would spend my savings on it. Yeah.
If I wore a bunch of merch every day for a week, would you guys buy me a Keira Knightley Marvel? Would that be something that we could work on maybe? Merch every day.
I work retail. But maybe I'll consider it. If I can open a second one.
So true.
Maybe. I'll see what my salary is by the time High Seas comes out.
Cool.
Yeah, we should also make merch first before that happens.
No, yeah. Liv is gonna make the merch and wear it.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
You
right.
just have to.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot
okay,
about
right.
that bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I have to say another prediction because my partner will be watching this and he'll actually message me in anger if I don't. We need a squid hero or a squid weapon or a squid creature. There needs to be squids in the new set, so I have to manifest that because he's really into squids. So
Squids.
Yeah.
Respect.
feel that's
Respect.
so
Yeah. Respect.
also manifesting squids alongside Keira Knightley Pirates.
There's like a lot of creatures on the wish list for this set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like
I think I brought up the idea of an illusionist that summons krakens last time.
Krakens. We talked about Krakens. We talked about little like a monkey hero. That's like a little monkey captain.
Oh my
We also
God.
talked about like little allies that are parrots. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
So cute. Oh my god. I love those. Wait, those are so much better than my predictions. Why did you let me do predictions?
no, our
Because we did this
so
last
good.
week.
and they were crazy. We got out of control. I told them, I was like, if there's not a plank at the world premiere that everyone who loses their round has to walk off of, like, I'm not going. Like, we got a little out of hand with our
good.
predictions.
Love it.
Did I mention landmarks last time?
Yes, I think. Yes,
I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
But mention
I
it
still
again.
want there to be like, I want there to be like landmarks that people fight over. Like there's some sort of condition kind of thing, and then like the winner will get rewards kind of thing. But it kind of makes sense to be like traveling to a landmark and trying to claim the gold before the other person kind of situation.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
So cool.
that's something I think could be mechanically interesting, and not just like I want an illusionist lady who summons krakens, which I'm also very about.
I really want a siren, and my hero as like a hero. My hero ability is like I have to do something, and then it like harms my like instead of benefiting me, it like harms my opponent in some way because they're like under my like siren call. Like I don't know, it like limits something. I haven't really thought about it because I don't design card games, but something like that.
I mean, like News kind of like already got that right. So it's not impossible. Like with the siren's call, you know, I'm gonna play this and then you have to show me your hand, ha ha ha. Like surely there's got to be something like that, but better and more oceany.
But better, but as my hero ability, and it makes me like so beautiful
cool.
and spooky.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow,
so good. That would be so good. I love that.
There's just so much room to be silly with the set.
I love it.
And to have fun. Speaking of sirens and falling for people, it was Valentine's Day last Friday. And as per usual, Elaine has her Valentine's Day post, thread, whatever you want to call it, where people will send in their best attempts at trying to woo you in a flesh and blood related kind of way. So I believe we've all picked out a post, maybe. And then Liv is also going to come up with a line that has not been told to anyone as far as we're aware. So you're going to be hearing it here on the first time, and you can decide whether she wins your heart or not. So Elaine, considering it was your post, what was your...
No, you have to go first. I'm making you go first.
Making me go first?
Yeah.
Okay. All of my submissions on this post were hella unhinged. So I'm going to go with the opposite and go real cute. And the one I'm picking is from Henrik. Henrik Nilsson from Blue Sky. And the response was, call me an instant because I'm defenseless against you.
Beautiful.
It's
so really cute. That's very wholesome. Not all the posts. If you go look at this post, most of them are not that wholesome.
Yeah. And if you're offended by not wholesome things, just ignore my
Just
ones
ignore
entirely.
the post entirely is what I recommend. Mine, I also did something more wholesome. There was a bunch of... It was kind of hard to pick one, though, because a lot of these made me giggle. But I was like, maybe I'll do something wholesome because there was less wholesome ones. But are you a bramble? Because I think I'm feeling a spark.
So
wait,
cute.
did I wink? I don't know if I can wink.
I think you did. That's the kind of thing you could see in like one of those like internet meme Valentine's Day cards.
Exactly.
Kind of
like that's a line. Like that's a line. If I wanted to slide into someone's DMs, you know.
Yeah.
Don't
That's good.
use at your own caution and will. Yeah.
Okay, Liv, did you end up picking out one that
Well,
wasn't for
I
you?
did pick out one, but now that you guys have been picking out really sweet ones, there's no way I'm saying the one that I picked out.
No.
Just do it. Just
I
do
wouldn't
it.
know what it is.
There's no way. I just like it was just so funny and like so like wow, it's just
Go
like
for it.
No, go for
it's
it.
just like the hero. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Oh. Okay. It's fine. This one's from Alex, real Alex S. on Blue Sky, and it was the "Is your name Azalea? Because I want you to put me on my back and dominate me." There we go. There it is. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good because it's what Azalea does. Like, you know, it's
She is also known as the Dommy Mommy when it comes to flesh and
I
blood.
wasn't gonna say it.
I
Like-
didn't say. It is true. I didn't realize that mine was from New Tasha Alluring Desire or TashaYasha.com at BlueSky.com.
It was a good one.
That's a really clever pun on their
I
account.
really liked it. Yeah.
It's really good.
Anyway, and then did you write a pickup line?
Oh, I
as well?
did, but again, like it's not even as sweet as yours. I'll say it anyway.
No, that's
No,
fine.
the ones that we posted weren't sweet.
We're not sweet
We're
at
not
all.
sweet.
Mine's like the opposite of that, which is like, "Hey girl, are you draconic? Because I want to pledge my fealty." I feel like that's good. That's my exciting.
Oh, that's
one.
wholesome.
That's hey.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
the queen, I love you. You know.
It's a
Yeah,
bit simpy.
It's okay.
You
It's
know?
a bit
Okay.
simpy. That
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that you know, simpy work.
Yeah.
That's good. I'll take it.
We have listener questions. This one comes from Alex Drakai of Scarlet Win, at deviled
Eggs with a 3.
eggs with a 3.bsky.social. Alex has written in before, and the eggs I feel like I always stumble on. Alex says, howdy live, and Kiki and Elaine. Thank you, hi. Love watching your content and enjoying the cozy vibes. When recording, do you follow a script to the T, pun intended, or do you do more ad-libbing? Any tips you'd give for a bubbling video essayist? Any teases for the next vid?
Cool. Okay, I love the pun.
And I hope to see you at Worlds.
Oh, cool. Worlds. I hope I can go to Worlds one
and
day.
hope to see you in the Worlds.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, Worlds would be cool. Can I remember the question? I can't remember the question. Like the pun. I like the T pun. That was good. And then script. Yes, I follow a script almost exactly to a T. I take a lot of time kind of crafting them and making sure every single sentence is exactly how I want to phrase it. And then I'll read it out loud, like in my video essay voice to a partner or a friend. Like I'll read it out like that, just to make sure that everything kind of flows nicely and like there's nothing I have trouble pronouncing. So I'm a big script fan, not the best ad-libber, so podcasts are a little out of my comfort zone, but it's okay. It's okay. Thank you. And then it was tips next. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, I think generally just like taking your time researching and writing and recording and editing, like taking time at all of the steps to make sure exactly or everything is exactly how you want it to be. And then my partner also shared this with me, but it's the Ristic Studies maxims. He's got a post on Substack, I think, and it's basically got like the things that he lives by to make his video. And Ristic Studies is a magic YouTuber on YouTube, like very, very, very popular and amazing content. But it's like stuff that like make your work really sexy, like make it aesthetic, make it, you know, make it something that people want to watch. Like cut it down, turn, I think it's 100 hours into 10 minutes or something like that. Like keep only the best stuff. That's all I can remember, like just off the top of my head, but just check out that post. Yeah, it's really good and it's really useful stuff. That's all I like. It's weird for me to be giving advice, but yeah.
If you have like a link you want to share, we can link anything in the description.
Okay. Link Ristic Studies, linked in the description.
And then Alex also had asked any teases for your next vid.
Christchurch video should be up very soon. I've just been really lazy. And then I spoiled on the stream at Christchurch, but I have a PvE video coming up that will hopefully come out like a week after the Christchurch one. So it's almost done. I just need to do the final stuff on it. That should be really cool. So yeah, Christchurch and PvE. And yeah.
I'm very excited.
And coming back a little bit closer to where we are in the world, we have Dead Summer Fabled Scholar at deadsummer.bsky.social over from Australia asking, do you have a favorite lore story or tidbit? And also they'd love to collab with you at some point. So like,
yes.
Wow.
Okay. Yes. First of all, collab, let's go. Fun. Secondly, favorite lore. Okay. It's not a story, but it is a tidbit. Because there's so many stories. Like, how can you choose the best story? Anyway, I absolutely love that Mysteria is full of tea houses. It's like, and it's like canon. Like, it really is. So I'm like, in my head, I'm literally imagining like New, Zen, and Enigma just like sipping tea on a hill in the afternoon. And I think like, oh my gosh, can I even remember? Yes, they're described as like the tea houses are in the cliffs, in the rocks, hanging off the cliffs, and then also floating on water. Like those are all the locations. There's tea houses everywhere, and they open like in the morning, and they're there like whatever you're doing, you can always visit a tea house. And like the money I would pay to visit a tea house on a lake, Mysteria, like oh my god, so that's my favorite lore tidbit because, hello, like so good.
So we now know which region of Aria, rather not Aria, Wraith you'd be from.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I know all the gossip
Yeah.
correspondence from, you know.
Oh, right.
How good.
Yeah.
And then our final listener question for this afternoon, evening is from Fabled Hero NZ from our Discord channel, Discord group, page, community.
Yeah.
Our Discord. Also, y'all can join it. Link will be in the bio. Anyway, she says, which hero is your favorite and what tea would they drink?
I mean, my favorite hero, Zuri. Is she there? Yeah, she's there. I had to check that. 100% love her. I hope I never stop saying that because I just love her so much. Like, I hope I never lose my heart. But I feel like I picture her drinking a dirty chai, which is like a shot of espresso in chai. It'll be like spicy and flavorful and dark, but extra caffeinated, which is what she needs right now to like push through, you know. But I can just see it. It just suits her so much, and it's nice. It's sweet. It's good.
She seems like
she
a busy
does
woman.
seem busy, very busy. She's got a lot of stuff to manage.
There's a lot of murder that she
people
needs
to
to commit, you know?
Yeah. That's interesting because when Kiki read this question, I was like, what a fun question. And I was like, my favorite hero? And I also thought dirty chai for Kasai. And then you just said dirty chai.
God.
I'm like,
When you were like, what's my favorite hero? What would they drink for tea? I'm like, girly, he's a chandelier. He doesn't drink liquids.
doesn't drink electricity. Like, I was thinking Kasai, but I don't think Acilio drinks. But yeah, dirty chai. What a good drink for
So
like,
good.
you know, the woman who just needs to murder some people.
Yeah,
I guess.
busy woman got busy lives. Need a dirty chai.
Yeah, needs a dirty chai. That's what I drink.
I feel like
love
Prism
a
would drink
dirty
something
chai.
basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Prism just drinks like hot lemon water with honey, which is okay.
Maybe like ginger tea with lemon and honey or something.
Probably.
That's like pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say like an Earl Grey, but that's way more of a Dorinthian vibe, if anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the chamomile drinker in Ray?
Verdant.
I feel like Verdance is also like peppermint because she's like a little spicy, you know? Got that kind of arcane.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I can see chamomile.
My first thought was
I feel
like
she's the most relaxed.
Cavdine. Like I could see Cavdine always having a chamomile on him for some reason.
I try not to think about that character at all.
He comes to
So I would not consider
he comes to mind. I don't know. He just comes to mind. Like I could see Cavdine just like always having a chamomile. Like he kind of, I don't know. He just gives me that vibe. It was my first thought.
Yeah, chamomile.
Like mysterious in that way. I feel like people who always drink chamomile are a little bit mysterious because like, what? How are you not asleep all the time?
Yeah,
you know.
True. Yeah, you've got the mysterious vibe going
drink,
on down there with the chamomile.
Yeah.
And my frog.
Yeah, very mysterious.
Oh wait, I love the frog
That's so
shirt.
cute.
Oh my
That's
god,
actually so cute.
I didn't see it before. That's actually so cute. I love the cherries too with the cherry earrings.
Oh, thank you.
That Liv is wearing.
I was like, there's cherries on my
I was
frog?
like, wait,
What?
where are they? Oh.
Yeah, I was just you both look so cute.
Oh.
Anyway.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wait.
So I think, that's kind of everything we had planned for today. Did you have any shout outs or anything you want to plug before the end of the episode?
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you made it this far watching me yap, thank you, and come check me out on YouTube, TNTCG. That's tea like drinking tea, if you didn't know and hadn't guessed, and also didn't read any of the stuff that's everywhere. But yeah. And also, I want to shout out Sean, Christchurch calling winner, and his partner Morgan. You guys are awesome. That was a sick interview you gave me, so thank you. And just so cool to chat to you guys on the weekend, and then after the wedding, and then watch you like in total shock. That was amazing, and you're cool. And then also Noel, my great beginner friend who went to Taihape with me and played in the calling. It's real good. Real good.
Played his first games that weekend. Fantastic.
Where can people find you, Liv?
Oh, that's right. People can find me on, where can people find me? X, T and TCG, Blue Sky, T and TCG, Patreon, T and TCG. What else? Oh, or Instagram. If you like memes, I run the FAB TCG memes page on Instagram. So
What?
Oh.
yeah,
I didn't know this.
I don't publicize that, but I just thought I could say it right now. Everyone else is saying stuff. I want to say stuff.
Spill the tea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come-
say stuff.
Come follow my meme page. I haven't posted in like 3 weeks, but it's okay. I'll post.
I'm going to follow it.
And of course, also
Oh
on
yeah,
YouTube.
oh yeah, on YouTube. Oh yeah, I make YouTube videos as well. YouTube is where you can find me. TNTCG on YouTube.
Very consistent branding. Unlike mine, you can find me on Blue Sky at kikibird.bsky.social. You can find me on X at kiki_LA93. And of course, you can find us on other things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Adeline.
You can find me on Blue Sky and also on X, but I don't really post on there, at ehamontree. At oh wait, I was about to say my email address. Just at ehamontree on Blue Sky and on X. And yeah, we have a YouTube account that you're listening to right now. And we also have a Discord. Kiki mentioned it earlier, but that is all linked in the description below. And yeah, thank you for listening, and thank you for coming on and talking to us, Liv. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great fun. I definitely want to come yap again. Please.
We will,
Yeah.
especially once we discover the hidden dirty secrets. Not in like a dark, mysterious way, but in a kind of who's getting with who kind of way. And right.
So we talked about that outside of the recording, so I'm not sure our listeners
Oh my god.
know what you're referring to.
Sorry.
Like,
You know what?
kidding.
I forgot about that part. Yep, we have some potentially fun ideas that may or may not come to fruition in the future, so keep an eye out for that. Make sure you follow us on our socials. Follow our YouTube, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.